Hello and welcome to another modeling video. This is Alan from the Man at YouTube with another model video. Today we'll be unboxing, building and reviewing the Bandai approximately 1/12 scale 30-minute mission, 30-minute fantasy rookie soldier armor exchange version from 30-minute Lable Fest 2025. An exclusive kit that was given away as a tutorial introduction to the 30-minute fantasy game world, lore and model line, which honestly I don't know a lot about. The exclusive box contains 2 runners with enough parts to make 2 variants and a set of instructions, very standard to the Bandai layout. You can't buy these in stores or get them anywhere. The pegs and armor is supposedly compatible with all other 30-minute fantasy models, and the pegs supposedly the sister and standard robot line, promoting creativity and customization. Obviously, there was quite a bit of overflow, and these came to my event at Animanga to be given away to promote Bandai and Gunpla products as a part of their former Caravan project. It's a very modern kit with a toy-like approach. The parts pop out with your fingers. It is completely toolless, though I'll be using glue sanding to remove imperfections, permanently affixing it together, and a little bit of putty to fill some of the holes and improve the aesthetic. It's kind of cool and very popular at the event, but I was initially not super excited to dig my teeth into it after being burnt by Bandai's very recent offerings and its sister line. Bandai for many years is very repetitive in its various lines and grades, and burnout is quite frequent, especially when you're consuming almost the same layout across variants of colours and slight shape differences for a few decades now. Clearly, I'm not the target demographic for this, and that is okay. It's still a very cool blank canvas to play around with some very cutting edge and new gimmicky aspects to it. Incredibly well engineered and detailed, such as the seams being cleverly disguised among the panel detail around the arms and legs with super chunky detail and many tactical holes to put all sorts of bits and pieces from various kits. It starts off by putting together the base, torso and body. Each limb, torso and head is 2 parts that click together. I seam line filled and glued them for permanent asphyxiation. Absolute precision fit, very clean, very well polished, almost sterile. You're given the option of blue armor, sort of like a protagonist or holy good guy, and dark armor for an antagonist, bad, evil vibe with 2 swords. You can mix or match or make what is prescribed and designed. I'm going to change it around and paint it. It is very straightforward and easy. I had it snapped together in several minutes. If you take your time, I suppose it is 30 minutes, but the proper paid version has full articulation and a much higher parts count that can achieve multiple positions. This is just a mannequin standby until you buy more. A bit of a taster. There were some ugly hollow bits behind the arms that I filled with milliput 2-part epoxy. Also tricky to find a pose that looks good. Sword point down as a bit of a fencer does irk me quite a bit, but there's another option besides very heavy modification to make this look convincing. I'm also not into the whole JRPG fantasy armor, so I'm going to put a lot more grit, color and lived in look in the painting stage, with inspiration from grittier Tolkien fantasy or historical examples. This is where it's going to get fun for me, especially all of that lovely, super deep, defined detail. I will be using automotive lacquers or Mr. Hobby colors thinned by automotive lacquer thinner with retardant via 2 airbrushes, a 0.3 and 0.5 mil double action and pistol grip from AliExpress via a low PSI plastic compressor. Thinned at a very watery viscosity and and gently applied for good adhesion. I started by doing a pre-shade of tracing all the major details and dips and valleys in black, and building up in various types of brown, bright, dark reds and sandy colours for an earthier leather look. The body is going to be a dirtied leather matty brigandine look and very matte, where the armour will be metallic and a much higher gloss. It's going to be very dark and playful, reminiscent like that LARP medieval diorama I did for the GBWC about 2015. I blended metallic black iron and various coppers burnt irons for a rusted effect. Through post shading, dusting and a few playful layers without too much stress or concern. Where some areas were a bit too bright, I would darken it with clear black. The two finishes will have a great contrast in heavy and light armour. Colour separation is quite excellent for this project. Almost no masking. I'm opting for hand painting instead for the eyes in the visor and handle, followed with definition enhancing. With all this lovely detail, I thinned down some Tamiya accent colour with gum turpentine and sludge washed it everywhere, filling every nook and cranny and making all the details and lines pop. This was allowed to dry and chemically cure over a few days, being enamel oil based. Finally, with a homebrew automotive hobby clear matte applied on the body and floor polish on top of the armour for that initial sheen. Busted out clear gen for the chest, assembled it and have it all finished and ready. Concluding this very quick build. I maybe sunk only about 3 to 5 hours, including sanding and painting. It was a bit too easy and a very quick turnaround. I was required to do something a little more polished for the Animunga events where we're giving these out to build, and showing something once polished and additional work applied, that it's not a snap, play and throw away affair. It's a black knight or mercenary. Very happy with the color choices. Painting everything just black kind of creates a void and nothing interesting, and a straight brown would just give it the turd problem. I wouldn't say careful, but a blend of colours has make it pop and given me that lived look I was looking for. Once a little time has passed, and if you ask me to replicate it, I'll probably be a bit afraid not remembering the exact colours or steps. I could see the fun if this is paired with a video game and use parts in the digital world and then in the real life your own model. Potentially could have been a very cool idea and concept. Unfortunately, I'm unlikely, if not ever, going to revisit and touch one of these again. This concludes the build. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, until next time, stay tuned for further content. If you are in Melbourne, Australia around August, September for Animunga, you'll be able to attend and receive one of these kits. Afterwards, who knows about the availability. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, stay tuned for further content, and we'll catch you guys next time. Please check out the description section down below for references and social media, and we'll see you later. Bye.